Hey, hi, hello, I'm Bushwookie and welcome to my channel. We are getting into Act 3 of Kentucky Route Zero. Radio announcer. 83 in Sunny Owl looks like it's gonna get up to about 101 by late afternoon in Louisville and 103 in E-Town. Not a cloud in sight, so get out there, parasol. Get out those parasols, haha. Major accident just ahead of the Bardstown exit. If you're headed to work on 31, you were late, my friend. Haha. Lisette, sugar? As it is, just a little. I forgot how you take your coffee. I'm tired. I didn't sleep well. Those old horses of Ira's used to keep me up. You thought they were having bad dreams, I remember. Ira wouldn't hear it. They're just horses. But those horses were troubled. Alethea chewed up the wood in the stalls. That's right. Charlie loved those horses. He'd sit on the roof and read his textbooks and watch them. He was so careful here. Our roof was just in better shape than the one he fell from. I always told him to test each tile with the heel first. If it's a heel, you can kick it back and still put your toe on something solid when the tile slips. I remember your lessons. You just wanted to study his... what was it called? Astronomy. That's it. How could I forget? He didn't listen. He listened, but he didn't hear what you wanted him to. Charlie always had thoughts somewhere else, and he was fitting your words together with whatever else he was focused on, like a, what are you? Like a puzzle? Like a collage? Like a word salad. Yes, that's the word. Well, we have a mail order delivery today. It might be a long drive. I hope the truck can hold up. The truck will outlive us all. I hope you're right. I'm glad you'll keep it. Ira would have wanted you to have it. It's been running since Charlie was born. Ira took me to the hospital in that truck. So did you, once. Your knee. My new knee, plastic. It'll be like a souvenir. So long drive. So mail ordered. They said they couldn't come in person. Maybe just a shut-in. I don't recognize the address. The order is all... I'm sure we can fill it. Guess that'll be the last. I guess it will be. The last act of Lisette's Antiques. The... oh, what's the word? Death rattle. Maybe. No, that's not the word. I just need to think a bit. More coffee or something? Or I've had too much. It's getting harder. Yes, it is. What are those boxes you set in the hallway? Those are your clothes. You packed them yesterday. Of course. Cora should be here soon. Will you wait with me? Sure, Liz, I'll wait with you. There's a traffic and weather on the fives. That's every 10 minutes. Brought to you by the Consolidated Power Company. Stick around for Old Kentucky Home. With Kate, helping you turn your humble home into a mansion after this. Oh. Oh yeah, he was getting his leg work done. I forgot. Interesting. Can I do anything here? Dr. Truman. But that's only if you make a late payment on a follow-up visit. I think everything went well enough here that they'll only want to bill for... Oh, he's awake. How do you feel, old man? All fixed up? Truman says you might be a bit misty coming out of it, so... I was dreaming. That's unlikely. Rohypnol trademark is quite powerful. In fact, many patients report a sensation of lost time. Do you feel like you've lost time? I feel fine. Good. How about that leg? How's your leg feeling? Yeah, that's the important part. Conway shifts his leg a bit in the chair, testing it. Well? Yeah, let's be like real crazy about it. It was the heat. The shingles were cracked in the sun and one of them slipped out under his foot. Shingles? What are you talking about? Who slipped? Your thoughts and feelings are probably still a little nebulous from the Neropnol trademark. That's totally normal. It'll pass. I wouldn't recommend driving, at least for another hour or two regardless. Stares remotely at his leg. Let's talk about a few things you should be aware of: recovery, rehabilitation, and side effects. I should have plenty of time for resting coming soon. Good for you. Vacation or... more like unemployment. Well, at your age, I want to be clear. You should expect lingering effects from the injury for more or less the rest of your life. Don't immerse it fully in water. Avoid extremes of temperature. I'd stay away from dusty roads and mountain lions as much as possible. Mountain lions, yeah, that's more like the part I'm... good advice in any context. Indeed, but... best thing you can do is keep it clean and free of debris. What do I clean it with? Only clean your leg with a soft cloth moistened with water or isopropyl alcohol, rubbing alcohol. You definitely want to avoid abrasive agents like detergents or other solvents. So, do you have any questions? Anything about the bill that didn't make sense? I don't mean to rush you, but I have an early fishing trip. Oh, wow, that sounds... Tell them about the payment plan and the bill. I don't want to think about the bill right now. What are you fishing for? Tell me about the payment plan. Ah, yeah, that's one of the atypical clauses. I don't really have any control over the bill now that the Consolidated Power Company bought my employer. They handle everything. So it all runs through your electricity bill now. You can pay it back in full on your next billing cycle, or you can get an energy credit payment plan. You have to call Consolidated for more detail about that. I don't really understand how it works. Something about generating electricity to send back into the grid. Oh, one more thing. Don't be alarmed if you experience any side effects of the Neropnol trademark. Typically, we see daydreaming, deja vu, pensiveness, fugue states, irregular perception of time. About 15% of patients report a generalized sensation of lateness. Nothing to be alarmed about, just keep it in mind. Thanks for your help. Julian's outside. We can head back to your truck. Alright. Talk to Shannon, I guess. How are the drugs treating you? I feel a little distracted. Street lights seem a bit brighter. I don't like to take medicine. Nah, it's good for you. He's a doctor, right? Trust me, I'm a doctor. I know what you mean, though. My folks had a peculiar relationship with medicine. We almost never had a regular doctor or health insurance or anything like that. Our immigration stuff was a mess for most of my childhood, so we only qualified for state programs and small patches before something or other would get contested. And we learned to just pile on dentist appointments and stuff in those short windows. If a cut got infected or migraines were too much to handle, Mom would talk to so-and-so who knew so-and-so, usually another minor, and end up with some pills. Instead of medical advice, every pill came with gossipy, anecdotal warnings and superstitions, like all this lore that came with it. Like magic, dangerous, mysterious. Weaver's folks couldn't help? Yeah, they had pretty good health care through the university for a while. A couple times they'd swing something so I got a bit of whatever Weaver needed. In high school, Weaver got these pills to help her focus. She was so smart, but always going off in different directions, mind racing, like 5 conversations going on in her head at once. And you're lucky if even one of them is with someone in the room, you know? So she had these pills and they seemed to help. I was struggling in school too, failing my history class. She offered to share the pills. Did it help? At first, yeah, it helped a lot. I had a kind of presence and clarity of purpose that I've never really had otherwise. I didn't want to stop taking them. One day I was sitting on my bed, my notebook was open next to me on top of a textbook, and I was holding a pen in my hand. I remembered this moment from several years before. It came up so suddenly, with such precision. I couldn't put it out of my mind. I felt I had to stay with it until I recalled the whole thing perfectly. It was just a tiny nothing moment. My mom patching up the side of a bird cage, winding some spare wire around the frame to reinforce it. I was fixated on the image and that sound, the cage kind of bending and twanging as she worked on it, rapping and nodding, scraping copper against paint, like bowing a rubber violin with a railroad tie. My parents came back from a triple shift and found me still sitting there on the edge of the bed, pen in my hand, delirious with thirst, patching that birdcage with a 1,000-yard stare. Okay. Oh, I wanted to go to the truck, not talk to Blue. Guess the rain stopped. There'll be earthworms all over the lot. Damn shame to be an earthworm in a rainstorm. So, what's the plan here? I could use a bite to eat. Oh, okay. You've been on the road for a while. Well, there's an all-night convenience store not too far from here. Is that okay? Sounds good to me. Okay, we can take 31 heading east. It's right before 65. 35 heading east. Okay. The truck's engine sputters and dies as Conway guides it carefully off the road next to a fallen tree. Oh. A tree. Nothing to be done? Can you take a look at it? I guess I could poke around in there, but I don't know a damn thing about engines. Wait. Is this why you always leave your truck running? Just superstitious. Right. Any other quirks I should know about? Don't name dogs after loved ones. Huh. No Aunt Blue, I guess? Anyway, do you know this area? Anyone around here that could give us a hand? Drove past here yesterday. Oh? What were you doing out here yesterday? What was I doing out here? That tree. That bog. Are you sure this is the tree? What kind of tree was it? A willow. I guess that could be a willow. I don't know much about trees. Hey, we should call someone. Do you know a good towing company? Yep. Lucky Boot Collision and Towing. Here's their card. Lucky Boot. Alright, I'll give them a call. I hope I can get a signal out here. Shannon speaks into the large brick cell phone held up to her ear. Hi, hello. We've got an old, I want to say diesel, old truck that just stalled out. Inaudible, confused. This is Lucky Boot Collision and Towing, right? A friend gave me your card. Open 23 hours a day? Inquisitive. Yeah, that's why I'm calling. Exactly, that's all. Obtuse. That's... okay. Look, we need to get back on the road here, and I'm sure you're busy too. I don't know what maudlin means, but we're gonna say it. Is this a bad time? Neighborly. We already ate. As soon as you can get out here, we're off 65 somewhere, just kind of pulled up by this tree that fell over. Tangent Chocobo. Okay, well, I don't know any of those people, but that does sound like the right area. You've been over here before? Indulgent. Okay, my pleasure. How long do you think you'll be? Road music? Hello? Why is Ezra here? Well, Shannon, what did they say? I think they're on their way. Guess we have some time to kill. Pretty grim place to be stuck. I wonder what happened to the tree, I mean. Maybe it was just old. You know what used to happen to old trees in the forest? Wildfire would come through and clear them all out. It made room for the new trees. But then people built houses and can't have fires going all the time, so we keep putting them out. And now we have all these old trees choking out the saplings. Starving the young trees for resources, just clinging on to life until snap. And then some road crew comes by and blasts the stump with dynamite. I think I'll take a look at that radio of yours. Maybe I can get it going again. No point in just standing around. No, not the truck. That thing's been broken for years. So we'll get to find out what station you had it tuned to when it went out. A snapshot of a younger man's tastes, haha. Do you remember what it was? Some college station. Well, I'm sure we'll find something to listen to on the road. Are you bored? Are you? Yeah, most of the time. Let's play a game. What would you like to play? We can tell the future with this little tree branch. It's pretty easy. We just break off all the little sticks on each section and count through the different things that could happen. Okay, what should we ask? It should be about you. I can't do both the counting out and the questions. How will I travel in the future? Ezra snaps the smaller branches away one at a time, counting out possibilities. Motorbike, motorboat, horseback, hearse, old truck, new truck, new truck. These other branches are too bare. Don't worry about it too much. It's just a bunch of sticks. What's up, Blue? I wish Julian wasn't so busy right now. He's got a lot of houses to carry still. He can handle on his own. Okay. Is that everything? Is this the right way? I don't recognize these trees. Junebug. So, if you guys aren't familiar, in the last episode, basically we were at a bar and we were waiting for the entertainment to show up. Junebug was the entertainment and she had not arrived. So, I guess we're gonna find out why. Of course it is. Yeah, I'm sure you're right. Just, the trees are so quiet, right? Usually you'd hear birds, wind, a squirrel, or something. Turn your ears down and focus on the radio, Cricket. Yeah, you're right. Maybe I'm a little bored. I'll work some chord progressions in my head for a while or something. Road behind. Is the bike kind of dragging a bit tonight? only we had some trash to jettison. You know you'd miss me. I only miss you when I know you're coming back. You're the good kind of trash, Cricket. You're the good kind of trash, Cricket. Oh ho, we should write a song about it. A dirge for drums and voice. Ha, very avant-garde. Hey, yeah, didn't you play on this record? Go-Go was on it. This is Dee Dee's record. Yeah, Dee Dee. That guy is out of control. We should do a set with him. He's a creep. Yeah, that creep can play, though. What time is it? It's late. Harry's gonna flip out. Relax, Cricket. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I'm being uptight. I'll make sure Harry pays up. I have a way with him. I know. Okay. Sidecar. I think they had a dog. What is it with you and animals lately? I don't know, they have a warmth. We still have all of this useless bread from the bakery gig. It's stale, but a dog won't care. Fine, just for a minute to share some bread. You're the best. And hey, maybe if they're not busy, they can fill some seats at the gig, you know. If no one's there, Harry'll try and bilk us on our fee. Maniacs. Are you okay? Got a little dust in my eye. Oh no, here, I think I have some eye drops. They were in a hurry. Some folks are always in a hurry. Not you, though, huh? You get caught up on a stranger's yarn or a street light reflection in a puddle. And nobody can get you moving again until you've let the grace of the moment right into your bones. Like a poet. Or a donkey. Donkey! I guess that's what I like about you, old man. You know how to wait. I don't think I ever will. Okay. Aw, go get your bread, Blue. Junebug to Johnny. Stay here. To Ezra. Careful, he's wicked with strangers. Ha! You. Didn't have to stop. We have a tow coming. You're here to clear the tree? Who's chasing you? Hear that, Cricket? We're being pursued. I knew it. Who's after us? That's a good question. There's folks seem to have a certain handle on the situation. So... dinosaurs. Sure, something like that. Listen, we've got 2 questions for you folks. What kind of people do you take us for? I mean, how do we strike you? Probably from space. I always said you fell from heaven, ma'am. To Johnny. Otherworldly. It's unmistakable. Now, here's another question for you. Do you like music? Do you like music? Sometimes I like to leave the radio dialed in between stations. Of course you do. Say, they should come to our gig. What an idea! We're waiting for a tow. A tow? I won't hear about it. This time of night you'll be kicking your heels till dawn. We'll fix your truck right up. Me and Johnny are a couple of regular gearheads. Why, I just put a new cylinder block on in this baby over here. The weird vector, the sloth on wheels, the vicious cycle. Ha! That's what we call our bike. We call it the vicious cycle. Pretty tough, huh? We'll get you fixed up quick so you can come to the gig. See, we have a regular booking tonight, and well, we're running late. Very late. That's what I told them. Now, the old man who runs this venue, Harry Esperanza, is a notorious withholder, and if we don't get a few bodies in the crowd, well, he'll go all penny pinching on us. Just a short set. We only have one song prepared. You'll come to the gig, won't you? Of course we will. Of course they will. Can you believe it? Can you believe we almost didn't stop? Hungry old lady, I think I've got a crust in the sidecar here. But that dog of yours is such a pitiful sight. Well, it's all said and done. We stopped. That's all that matters. Our gig's at an old tavern called the Lower Depths. It's over there by old Charlie Moran Highway, just east of 65. We usually take a right off the interstate around the petting zoo. Johnny likes the petting zoo. I do like the petting zoo. Now, let's see about the truck of yours. I feel certain we can get it running. Tavern. Bar door. Kinda late. Are you sure they're open? Sure, they're open. This is one of those places. Let's head on in. We are not saints, but we've kept our appointment. How many people can boast as much? That's lovely, ma'am. Who said it? A poet. Ma'am, I hate to say it, but the cupboard is bare. Have some vision, Cricket. We've got 1, 2, 4 patrons. Harry doesn't count. Well, we've done more with less. What kind of music do you play? Do you play here often? I haven't been in a bar like this since... Gave it up, huh? Well, I bet Harry has some coffee on back there, but I won't vouch for quality. She's a connoisseur. Johnny's favorite regional cuisine is gas station. All important tonight is Hard Times whiskey. Got any coffee going? No coffee. Hard Time whiskey. Yelling towards exit. Hey, shut the goddamn door, would you? I can't afford to run the AC all night. Sorry, Harry. Oh, it's you two. Where have you been? Never mind, listen, I can't keep this place open through the small hours of the night just waiting for musicians. Where is everyone? Everybody had to, clear out. Let's get set up, huh? There's nobody here to listen to it. I can't pay for... We brought some people, Harry. A crowd is forming. Yeah, but also Don't you want to hear some music, Harry? That does sound nice after the day I've had. But Ezra flips eagerly through the jukebox catalog of songs. What do you think? I don't know how to play this game. Time for some jams. How's it looking out there? How are y'all feeling tonight? Can we get a bit more reverb in the monitors? Harry adjusts the soundboard behind the bar. How's that? Test, test. 1, 1, 1, 3, 50. Lamentation. Sounds good. How's everybody doing? Anybody had a real bad night? How about you, old man? Yeah, real bad. We'll try not to make it too much worse. This is a song I heard in a tavern many years ago at an open mic night. Me and Johnny were out just riding around, you know. You like to drive around, old man? It's my job. Of course you do. So we were out riding around. We passed this gaudy old tavern. I mean, it was a real dive. Busted up facade. Weeds in the parking lot. Taps all dry. Bats in the bathroom. and run by this creaky bag of bones. Looked like the only things keeping him awake was the fear of death. So glad to be back here in the lower depths. Hey now. So we stopped for an early drink, and there was a lady singing right here on stage, and the song she sang, well, it stuck with us, and now it's a regular part of our repertoire. Never got that lady's name, but she seemed like a sweet gal, and she had a voice like Scotch whiskey. And we just hope we do her song justice. So here it is, Too Late to Love You. Oh. When you left me. Damn. Well, that was fucking cool as hell. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I was not expecting all of that. Damn. I really hope that's not copyrighted. If it is, I'll put some other music over top of it and leave, because it was just a cool scene. But I'm really hoping the music's not copyrighted, because that was just like, it was cool. It sounded nice, like that. So we gotta talk to Junebug after that. Well, I hope you liked it. I've heard it before. I don't doubt that. You look like you've spent an evening or two in a grimy old tavern. Listen, we should appreciate you folks sticking around for the show. There's nothing more wretched than playing sad songs to an empty room. We've just got to get our fee from Harry, and then we'll get you headed to the Zero. We never said that. We were heading to the Zero. Well, Harry, I think that went pretty well. I'd say the crowd was into it. Reverential. Wrapped. I guess the usual fee is about right, and we'll let you get back to your business. Well, that's just the... Damn it, I was trying to tell you to. I can't pay. They cleaned me out. I've got nothing left but a goddamn IOU from the distillery. An IOU? Yeah, I traded them for some whiskey, and I guess I had some surplus credit, so I got this note to get some more from them later on. Must have been a hell of a trade. I had to. Gotta keep this place open somehow, goddammit. Watch your language, Harry. Could you pay them with your IOU? Well, Very contemporary, very astute. How about it, Harry? Let's push some paper around. Well, it's just, I can collect on it here when they bring more whiskey up, but for you to cash in, you'd have to go down to, to the distillery, down to Hard Times, and you've got to take the Zero. So that's what we'll do. How do we get there? Are you folks sure you want to head down there? I've never been myself, but people hear things, rumors. That's where we've got to go. Well, I'll tell you then, to Junebug. This is it, right? We're square? Harry, you're all right. If only. You got a radio in your car? Yep. Well, here's what you gotta do. Take a left out of the parking lot and then just fiddle around on your dial until you hear something familiar but strange. You know the feeling like... I used to go hunting with my uncle out in the mountains, and now I watch these nature programs. They're filmed in the mountains, and there's the deer, and I know all the plants and every kind of tree, but something just doesn't look right. And it's even stranger for being so close to familiar, something like that. You'll know it when you hear it. Fix that strange, but familiar station on your dial, drive for a bit, and then turn around when the station cuts out. Right then. Hope you folks find what you're looking for, eventually. Always a pleasure, Harry. Is it? Okay. So... radio... on... That station doesn't quite match the bartender's description. Definitely weird, though. Let's keep scanning. He said we'd know it when we hear it. Okay. What's this station? I've never heard this before. Sounds like horses. Horses running? A race? Lisette and Ira had some horses years back. Yeah, I've always been a little afraid of them. They're so big and, I don't know, you look in their eyes and they're almost human. Like they're human and animal at the same time since they've been domesticated so long, I guess. Well, that fits familiar but strange for me. Harry said we just drive until it cuts out? Okay. Um... Uh... Okay. Okay. So now what? Hall of the Mountain King? So now, I guess these band people are just like, I'm slowly just gaining like a whole crew of people. The bridge ends abruptly, crumbling in despair. Okay. Boardwalk. Oh. Okay. Rope. A loop of decayed rope is coiled on the banister. Some rotted sections have been smothered over with a fine dust. Okay. Broken computer monitors are heaped precariously among the rocks. Okay. A pet carrier for a cat or small dog has been left by the path. A calcified rag wadded in the corner was maybe once have been a blanket. Okay. A hiking backpack leans against a rock. It's empty except for a dusty bag of cat food and a few punch cards. A pile of discarded electronics burns steadily in the center of the chamber. Oh, it's triangles within triangles down here. Shifting, intersecting, overlaying. Isn't it romantic? Let's see. You're here to steal back the love of a boy you once knew when you were too young to recognize the movements of the heart. And you're escorting her, pretending to have her interests at heart while really... To Junebug, really you're in love with the young woman as well, and so you've agreed to help him conspire to win her affections. But it's just a ploy to set him up for embarrassment and diminish him out of the picture. Junebug, I'm into it. Well, maybe I still have the knack. I used to be really good at this. I had 11 novels published, from The Billionaire's Bidding to Fields of Longing, Real Hot, boat ice, ripping stuff. You know, I miss those days in my Lexington studio apartment, just me and my thesaurus steaming up the windows. Why did you stop writing? You know, suddenly it was all computers everywhere you went. I thought I might be able to do something with that. Inject a little libido into those ugly beige boxes. Ha! So I went back to the university and I studied human-computer interaction, and then I picked up Donald's research assistantship here as a tester, debugging. Ooh, Donald. Okay, so in previous parts, Donald was the part of the trio of Lula, Donald, and Old Joe. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about, go back at some point and watch the previous parts, but that's who Donald is. In my off hours, I played around with the doomed love story at the core of our little simulation. That seemed to amuse Donald, so I kept at it. I'm afraid I tinkered too much, made it too complex. Now our work is never done. We don't even have to add any new functionality. The bugs just grow on their own. Too complex. I miss those days in my Lexington studio apartment. Okay. Old man, look at my life. Is this gonna be Donald? Yep. Donald puffs on a smoldering pipe while half mumbling, half singing an old country tune. Where the old green river runs through hills and caves not known to us down to the sunless sea. Oh, who are you? What's that song? Oh, you've caught a verse of my absent-minded warbling. It's just a song from my youth. Something a dear friend used to sing to herself as we hacked on crystal radios in the boiler room. In old Kentucky, where my love a lovely home did build for me, and where the old green river runs through hills and caves not known to us, down to that sunless sea. From there on, it was all meandering rivers and romantic greenery, and that is what were we talking about? What's that computer over there? It looks pretty vintage. It looks like a harmless old computer, doesn't it? Like some beat-up mainframe exhumed from a university basement left in this cave to rot. Or to flower. No, it's no ordinary computer. I've modified it extensively, and in some pretty experimental ways, believe you me. And that's to say nothing of the software, but... You look like a technically minded sort of person. Tell me. Do you know the effects of mold growth on diffuse base transitor circuitry? Sounds like it would short circuit? Certainly, certainly. But not all of it. Some moldy filaments are more or less conductive than others, and it grows in nonlinear, chaotic patterns. We can guide it in a bit through a simple application of classical horticulture, but we can't produce specific results, only tendencies. Thwarted and feeble, we hammer on the derelict keyboard. My name is Reason, Kings of Kings. But we are mere gardeners in the ruins. Our keystrokes echo off into the tunnels, boundless and bare. The caves stretch far away, and we are too late. Always too late. What? Did you say something? I'm just interested in the mold computer. The mold computer. Oh! Xanadu. You've heard about it. Perhaps you've read about it in a journal. It's been years since I published anything. Xanadu was evolved significantly since I explained its data structure in my article, Literary Multitudes, Hypertextual Narrative, and Post-Structural Witness. Evolved, and then deteriorated. I'm afraid you are too late, fellow hypertext enthusiasts. As the mold accumulated on the circuitry, Xanadu blossomed for a moment into something holy and enchanted, then all the charm was broken. Do you have any idea what it's like to spend your life building something and then sit powerlessly as your work declines into ruin? Pretty much everybody except for Junebug, apparently. I drive deliveries for a small antique shop and we're closing down. Shuffling around the dusty ghosts of antiquity. Well, I have my own ghosts and I keep them in there, in Xanadu. It's running on that glorious dusty machine. Take a look if you'd like. Too late to do anything but smoke and reminisce anyway. Far too late to do anything. Go check out Xanadu, I guess. How do you think we get it started? This old thing? Maybe there's a hand crank around. Oh, it has a run key. This thing is in rough shape. Try blowing on it. Well, is a lost cause. What a piece of junk. Bizarre. And what was that about Lula? Maybe Donald knows how to clear it up a bit. Oh my gosh. So, you've seen it for yourself. What's left of it? Pretty busted. Chalky bones of a beautiful dream, but you can see what it once was, can't you? Can't you? There was so much to it. Ornate labyrinths of memory, exhaustively simulated parallel cave ecosystems, real artificial intelligence built on sophisticated neural network algorithms. The birds in the forest could flock in 3 dimensions. The bats could learn to sing. And then it began to crumble when the strangers came. At first we only heard them, walking heavily through the caves, dragging things around, hammering and clattering their tools. Sometimes we heard working songs, never close enough to make out real voices, just their echoes cascading wordlessly in the tunnels. Then we caught a glimpse of one. What did they look like? They look like... No, it's too horrible. I shouldn't be telling you about this. They're dangerous. They're strange. I should never have tried to outwit them. They were always too much for me. But it's too late now. If I had listened to Lula, Lula? Lula Chamberlain? Yes, of course. Oh, do you know her? We're looking for her now. No, she's gone now. She left. We built this together, did you know? Lula, Joseph, and I. Lula is gone from here, but Donald... Oh, but... Donald points across the cave with his pipe. Still in there in Xanadu. I don't know where Lula is now, or how to get there from here, or how to unwind the damn tangled highway, but Xanadu before its ruin was faultless as an oracle and shrine to perfect simulation. Lula is gone from here, but still in there in Xanadu. The screen on Xanadu looked a lot like the way the map for the Zero looks, so I'm wondering what that all means. But maybe, those weird interlopers destroyed my Xanadu. Perhaps they know how to fix it. It may be dangerous. I've sent many eager seconds to negotiate with them to repair my masterpiece. Back there, that tunnel. Push back the vines. Crawl on out into the darkness. Watch your step. After a while, you'll feel the terrain change beneath your hands and knees from rock to crystal and then to mud. Then you'll be out. That's where the strangers come from. Now leave me alone. I still have a bit of mold in my pipe and a few dreams left. Where the strangers come from. A cemetery? Alright. I guess a cemetery. Well, this can't be right. Looks like an old church. Looks like worth a look inside, I guess. I want to stay outside. Why? I think I saw a lizard. I'll stay with them. Okay, we'll make it quick. Junebug. Find any lizards? I wasn't really looking. Nice cover story, kid. Why do you dress like a punk? Do you have any family? Is that guy your boyfriend? Is that guy your boyfriend? Nah, what's a boyfriend anyway? It's a word people use because everyone else does. Doesn't mean anything to me. He's my cricket. See? It means something. It's specific. I want to be specific. I think you are. It's the middle of the night and here you are in a graveyard. Any other kid your age would be in bed. You just got to make choices and own them. You think I was born this foxy? I came off the assembly line about a half-foot shorter and all gray, no eyes. Wait, what? They were going to have us clearing out the old mine. Doesn't matter what you look like under all that rock and water? Oh. A bunch of gray shadows shoveling and hammering invisibly at the walls, draining the tunnels. Johnny found some gear, an old tape player, and we hid away in an underwater cave and listened to it over and over, and we knew we weren't miners. We slipped out onto the road, just these two featureless shadows, and ever since that night, we've been detailing, coloring in, specifying. I feel more like myself every day. I feel less like myself without my folks. Sure, some people are born into a family. Nothing wrong with that. Oh. Guess I should have looked around first. There you are. What'd you find in there? It wasn't... Hey, what's going on? You look flushed, old man. It doesn't matter. Right, okay. We got what we need. Let's go. Talk to Donald some more. Singing softly, traces of an orbit around the road, and close your eyes with holy dread, for we on mold and whiskey fed. I drank from rivers down below. We found your strangers. We know how to fix your damn machine, but I'm not sure it was worth it. Oh, soon the visions will return. What have you found? They say you need to scrape the mold off the timing crystal, but the mold? Of course! Too much mold on the timing crystal would send the simulation adrift. Each moment I lived out of sync. By all means, yes, clean the timing crystal. Do you see anything that looks like a timing crystal? Yeah, right here, behind the control panel. It's filthy. Right. We're supposed to scrape off this black moldy stuff. Weird. Just following instructions. Here we go. Okay. At end of road. You are standing at the end of a road before a small brick building. Around you is a forest. Check out the building. Enter building. You are inside a building, a storage shed for the National Park Service. There is a sensible, modern electric lantern nearby. Get the lantern. Lantern. Taken. Exit building. Enter forest. In forest. You're in open forest with a deep valley to one side. Can we climb a tree? I don't think much is to be achieved by that. Sorry. Can we dig a hole? You can't see any such thing. You're in the forest. Lula is here soldering replacement components in a small handmade radio. We should talk to her. Ask Lula how she is doing. Hi Donald, I'm getting the strangest interference out here. I've been tuning the radio circuits gradually as we go, swapping capacitor values and tweaking resistor networks. It was working for a while, but everything I can pick up sounds so distant and muffled. Lula hands you the radio. Well, maybe you'll have better luck. You're good at this stuff. Just don't forget to give it back. Try east. You're in the forest. Joseph is here, tapping with a small stylus on a modified pocket braille slate. A small gray kitten, no more than a few weeks old, dozes comfortably on top of his backpack. Maybe he has something to say? Listen. Donald, I was just transcribing your footsteps. Sounded like... Joseph runs his finger along the index cards he's been tapping on from right to left. Long, weary song, drearily gone, dearly gone. You beat a melancholy shuffle through these woods, Donald, ha. I've been noting down the sounds of the forest with an ear for speech and an inborn filter for poetry, I suppose. So maybe it's me being melancholy after all. I'm eager to see what the poetics of subsystem makes for these punched cards. Okay. West. At edge of hole. Oh. Okay. You're at the edge of a massive hole. The dirt gives way to rock as the ground sinks into darkness. The computer tied to your upper back slickens with sweat in the afternoon sun. The rope slung around your shoulder has slipped under the strap of your backpack, digging uncomfortably against your collarbone. Yell in the hole first to see if there are pirates. I only understand you as far as wanting to yell. Yell, any pirates down there? No response. Sorry, kid, you're battling zero today. Or you're batting zero today. At least we know there's no pirates. Shine the lamp. Oh, yeah, I guess we could try using the rope. Tie a rope to a tree. Rope is tied snugly to a tree trunk. Down. The feet slip a few times on the slimy rock, but you remain stable. Lula and Joseph descend carefully after. In bed quilt. Got my little buddy with me. You're in bed quilt, a long east-west passage with holes everywhere. Joseph and Lula remove the computer equipment they are carrying on their backs and begin setting up. That's the last trip, so everything's down here now. Say something back to her. You make an awkward joke. Don't be so morbid. Lula looks pensive. What's the gear they're carrying? Sure, Donald. May as well take inventory. I've got the tape machine and the synthesizer parts we borrowed from the School of Music. It's all tuned up to my voice so we won't have to type so much. Joseph has his slate and the punched cards he's transcribed from the poems we read him. He's got the typewriter and paper tape reader. And you've got the CRT display. How's your back holding up? Ask her about the cave. Having second thoughts? I don't blame you. It's unsettling down here. Weird acoustics. Earlier we were climbing down. I thought I heard voices for a moment. Or, not voices themselves, but the echoes of voices, singing some kind of eerie, tuneless working song. I'm glad I'm not down here alone. Joseph looks uncomfortable. Jealous. Hey Donald, can you help me wire up these generators? I'll assemble the synthesizer, but I could use some help with the serial interface if you have time. You hear an unfamiliar echo from a tunnel to the east. Maybe if we help Lula, she'll have more to tell us. Thanks, Donald. I can never remember which color lead goes to which pin. Lula begins unpacking a box of wires and terminals. Do you think there are paintings down here? Cave paintings, I mean? Maybe some old pottery shards from when the world was young and early men and women huddled in these caves too. Do you know, I think cultural fossils are the saddest fossils. Sadder than animal remains, I mean. We might come across a petrified mollusk or a partial dinosaur footprint, and we'd say, there was a point of contact here where a body touched this earth, and maybe that's a little bit of an evidential garbage, but the life who owned that body never cared and has moved on anyway. And that's the end of it. But suppose I shine my lantern on one of these walls and I see a crude painting, thousands of years old. 2 men and a woman. Charcoal and blood on rock. Someone put that there to keep something on the rock after she passed. A hope, a relationship, a moment. A worry, maybe, a regret. She made a painting to keep something alive for her, but like that dead mollusk or that dinosaur. Sorry. She had to move on. Whatever it was is gone, and now we're looking at this painting, this dangling copy with no original. You are interrupted by the ominous echo of grating, scraping sound from the east, louder than before. What the hell was that? Let's check it out. In tunnels. You rush down the tunnel with Joseph and Lula close behind. That got kind of intense back there. I hope they've moved on by now. The tunnel narrows and soon you find yourself crawling on your hands and knees. Navigating the tunnel gradually becomes more awkward as smooth rock gives way to jagged, crystalline surfaces. Scratches and taps echo from the end of the tunnel, some short and piercing, some slower and groaning, as if dampened by water. The tunnel opens into a large room. In crystal room. Oh, whoops. Oh, I didn't just mess that up. You are in a large, irregular chamber. The walls, floors, and ceilings are covered with crystalline projections. Strangers are here, scraping black mold from the crystals. They look up when you enter. One of them seems about to speak. Finally! Let's listen to what he says. The stranger reaches for a box he's carrying and presses a plastic button. The box whirs to life, and a crackly voice blurts something unintelligible, then slows to a deep gurgle. He looks at his companions momentarily in confused disappointment. Then he returns to his awful gaze at you. Joseph flees through a tunnel to the north. Lula flees through a tunnel to the northeast. Follow Lula. Lula's headlamp scans across the northern passage as you run. Soft shadows loom perplexingly from floor to ceiling. You feel around to distinguish shadows from crystals, but eventually find yourself cornered. You have hit a dead end. Who are they? Let's find a way out of here. Escape. That's not a verb I recognize. Look for escape. You can't see any such thing. Listen, I think they've gone back to work. They seem strange somehow. Maybe they've forgotten about us. Alright, let's try to pass them quickly now. Don't make eye contact, then we'll find our way back to the equipment. And bed quilt. You're in bed quilt, a long east-west passage with holes everywhere. Lula's here, panting for breath. Lula, did you follow us? Did they follow us? Where's Joseph? Search for him. I only understood you as far as wanting to search. We have to be more specific. Down one of the tunnels with the equipment, back outside. Down one of the tunnels. Search tunnel. You select a tunnel at random. Your lantern illuminates several sets of footprints on the moldy cave floor, but they are impossible to identify. With the equipment, search equipment. Various computer and audio equipment cast angular shadows into the tunnels as you scan slowly across the pile. Nothing. Joseph climbs down from the rope still tied above. That damn sound, those damn voices. I don't even know what direction I was running. I rode through the network of tunnels. I ran my hand along the wall, always turning left, but every turn and every rock felt the same. For all I knew, I was running in circles. Finally, I ended up here, and I hid. I panicked. I heard you talking, but I didn't think I could trust my senses. But listen, there's one thing I have to tell you. While I was out there, lost in the tunnels and caves, I came across the Zero, and I had no idea. It's like a real place. They pick up garbage, they deliver mail, they go to work and to church, but it has an awful kind of emptiness. Wandering through, I heard horrible echoes, weird images got burned in my mind's eye. A television, a scarecrow, a crystal, a feather, a sandwich, a CRT monitor, a bottle, an anchor. Lula looks down at her feet. We should ask him more about that. Donald, you've heard the same damn stories I have, but it's different. It doesn't matter now, damn it. I'm leaving. To hell with all of that. Whoa, we should stop him. You shot something at Joseph about the project and you are working on together. You'll die in these damn cold caves. And what about those men? You know they'll come back. Tell them we can hide from the strangers. You shot something at Joseph about going deeper into the caves. Did you hear their voices? They'll find you, but not me. I'm going back to the surface. Stop! Your stupid fight is ringing through the whole damn cave. Joseph is right. We can't stay here. I'm leaving too, but I'm not going back to the surface. I'm taking my station wagon and I'm heading down to Zero. So I've actually heard this part of the conversation before. I don't remember which part of my previous episodes, but it was there. I think it is. Whoa, don't let her leave us here. You plead with Lula about your continued collaboration. I'll send you this tape when I'm done recording. I'll put it in the mail, and then you can see what your damn machine does with it. Lula and Joseph have left. In tunnels. Abandoned by your collaborators, your confidants, your companions, the only two among your colleagues with whom you've ever trusted the gift of your friendship. Pretty thick, sounds like Beardo had his heart broken. You wander the tunnels alone, dragging along the components of your unrealized masterpiece, coming to underground passages for a new site in which to realize your vision. Sounds like a genius. How do you mean? Vain. Vanity. Ain't it the truth? My aunt Remedios, before she got into the whole ethnomusicography thing, she was a painter, mostly nudes and oils. She had this model. I'll never forget him. Big, classically physical guy, looked like he was about to storm Troy. He made everyone call him the Colonel. Weaver and I saw this guy naked a lot. You couldn't help it. He was always posing somewhere in the house, chasing the light from room to room while Aunt Remedios made a sketch of his profile or worked on the right mix of pigments for his abdomen. The Colonel had this magnificent hair, long black hair that ran down just to the bottom of his shoulder blades. One evening, he was standing next to an open window in the back of the house. The sun was setting, early spring, I think. It was kind of windy. Aunt Remedios was trying to get her hair right. She kept arranging it, like half in front and half behind, running over his shoulder and laying across his chest in this very specific way. But it itched him or something, and he'd do this weird, indignant shuffle thing, or the wind from the open window would push it around, or he'd start and turn his neck when Weaver or I ran by, and everything would be tangled again. The final product was a swirl of black lines billowing around the top of his neck. Weird thing is, I don't remember his face now. Just that black swirl. Probably the best one she ever painted. Okay. Hall of the Mountain King. That's where we are. After what may have been years, you stumble out of the tunnel into a cavernous open space. Stalactites adorn the ceiling like grotesques. In the center of the room is an enormous rocky spire. This is where you will set up your equipment and establish your legacy. Now is the time to continue your work. Research assistance, 0. Realism index, 37%. Romance index, 2%. Mold coverage, 0. You may hire a new research assistant, assign assistance to a task, or sleep until tomorrow. Okay, hire a new research assistant. Uploading job advertisement to university message boards. You have hired Greg, who studies architecture. Okay. Assign a task. You may assign research assistants to debugging, transcription, or speculation. Speculation. Assigning available research assistant to speculation. Okay. Sleep till tomorrow. Time passes. Greg discards centuries of exhaustive data on the uniformity of cause and effect. Now is the time to continue your work. Research assistants, 1. Realism index, 22%. Romance index, 7%. Mold coverage, 11%. You may hire... I don't really know what the heck is going on right now, you guys. Hire a new research assistant? Okay. Hired Andrew. Okay. Guess hire another one? I don't... No new applicants. Okay. So... I guess assign Andrew something? Okay, I guess debugging. You have 2 research service. Assign how many to debugging? 1. Okay. Assign. Transcription. I have no idea what the heck I'm doing, you guys. I guess sleep until tomorrow. Time passes. Greg makes adjustments to the echolocation algorithm. Bats now fly normally instead of getting hung up on each other's wings and clustering together like horrible, leathery tumbleweeds. Andrew extensively notates tunnel diameter as a function of length. Greasy black mold is collecting on the computer equipment. Now is the time to continue your work. Okay. Guess I'll hire in person number 3, hopefully. Hired Weaver. Oh, hey! Weaver! I guess assign it to tasks. I'm assuming I'm not going to be able to hire another one. Okay. Debugging. I don't understand what I'm doing. Transcription? then I guess we sleep. Time passes. Andrew identifies a bug with the oxygen level simulation, but is unable to fix it. Greg carefully transcribes the sounds of dripping water and all their variations over a period of several hours. Weaver posits that nature and not reason is the master of industry. Intruders. Strangers are doing something to the equipment, but you can't make out what. You hide behind a rock until they leave. With trepidation, you emerge from your hiding place hours later. Now's the time to continue your work. I'm not convinced this is getting us any closer to the zero. Research assistance, 3. Realism, 52%. Romance index, 17%. Mold coverage, 0%. Okay. Okay. Kitty. Try to quit and start over. I want to keep playing. Okay, I guess This is the last day I'm doing, because if I don't do anything that I needed to, then screw it. And then I guess we sleep. Time passes. Marianne fixes some weird math with some weirder math. Greg widens tunnels slightly to reduce the need for extra crouch commands. Andrew summarizes the migratory patterns of bats through the tunnels. Weaver muses about the love lives of fungal colonies. Weaver follows the strangers into the tunnels. She doesn't return, but neither do they. Now's the time to continue your work. Okay. I mean, the realism index is getting close, so I feel like maybe once it hits 100%, maybe something happens. I don't know. Okay. Time passes. Amy fixes bugs. Andrew types up some lurid imagery from a dream journal. Marianne makes a convincing argument for the edibility of stone. Greg had ideas. Greasy black mold is collecting on the computer equipment. Now's the time to continue. Okay. Try to quit and start over. I wanna keep playing. I don't care. Come on, kid. We got stuff to do. Quit. Are you sure you want to quit? That was a rhetorical question. Quit game. Exit. But you aren't in anything at the moment. Maybe we have to lose or die somehow in order to start over? Smash the computer! Violence isn't the answer to this one. Maybe we have to wait it out. I guess we can keep playing. Wait indefinitely. Time passes. Research assistants come and go. You don't encounter the strangers again, but sometimes you can hear the uncanny echoes of their voices off in the tunnels. Years pass. Mold accumulates. You and the remaining research assistants take to burning disused equipment in the center of the room. The black mold is intensely flammable and makes an excellent catalyst. It leaves behind a sweet, narcotic perfume. One night, you have visitors, outsiders, different ones. Then later that night, an old friend. You really did go deeper into the caves. Premature end of file. Press any key to quit. Huh? Well, you guys, I was hoping I could get through a full act in a single episode, and unfortunately this is going on a little longer than I was expecting, and I am all out of time, but I will be picking back up from here, and I've got other videos coming out too, so if you like what I'm doing, then like, subscribe, ring the bell. It helps me out and keeps you guys in the loop. So, until next time, Bushwookie out.